Hi folks, this is Robert. I'm back again. It's time to make some more videos on how to use the sequencer MusE. I think the old videos were made for MusE version 2.0 and now we're at 2.2. So I thought I would make another introductory video showing the basic features on how to get started with MusE, because some things have changed a little bit, so I think it would be in order. I have built MusE from source, and when MusE is built from source, the binary will be called MusE2. If you have MusE installed with your distribution or something similar, it will probably just be called MusE. But you'll find your way. It's in the menu somewhere. Before starting MusE, you need to have Jack started. And there's one, I have it started here in this terminal. I thought I would just point out that this parameter at the end is more or less needed when, especially when you want to do MIDI with MusE. It enables the Jack MIDI implementation to see everything that's connected to the ALSA MIDI system. Everything that's connected to the ALSA sequencer will now be seen by the Jack MIDI system. There's a list of everything that's currently from the ALSA backend shown into the system. All right, let's move on and just I can show you there's a bunch of shortcuts, or I mean if you use this option -H, I'll show a bunch of parameters that MusE can be started with. I won't go through this. They're mainly useful if you want to debug something, you want to find out why something is not really working as it should. For this, we'll just start MusE like this, MusE2, and I just press enter. There's quite a lot of crap printed in the terminal. Most of it is from plugins that are checked during the startup. But here we are inside the arranger of MusE. It's roughly split in two parts. The track list here and the canvas of the arranger where your compositions will be shown. In the track list you can right click to get a menu. It's a quite important menu on how to add different types of tracks. For this little introduction, I think we will add a soft synthesizer. We'll add this DEXED LV2 synthesizer. You can see now that it has its own track here in the arranger list. You can see that it's called DEXED LV2 instance 0. It has a port name that is useful to keep track of for different things. We'll see it in a second. It's apparently a mono synthesizer. I didn't know that. Seems to be. And there's this new column automation that lists, if I click here, you'll see there's lots and lots of parameters that can be automated for these synthesizers. These are different for everything. You see also there's two parameters for the output track. If I click here, you see that it's volume and it's pan. We'll go through that in a later tutorial. For now, I think we'll create a MIDI track. Add MIDI track. And we see here directly that this MIDI track is connected to port 1 Teratech, which isn't what we want. So we click here and we change it to connect to the DXED synthesizer instead. This means that everything that this track outputs will be sent to the DXED synthesizer. It will use MIDI channel number 1. With soft synthesizers, this isn't so important. It could be important if the soft synthesizer actually supports several MIDI tracks, but I'm not sure if this one does. Actually, it's time to open the GUI. Maybe we can see it there. To get the GUI, hang on, I'll do it again. We right click on the port column where the name, the instance of the synthesizer is shown. There's a small menu that shows that we want to bring up the native GUI for this synthesizer. So I click there, and for LV2 synths there might exist several GUIs. So I'll just pick one. I'm not sure if there's actually any difference between these ones. So here we are. I'll just move it there, and there's a virtual keyboard here. We can see if it makes any sound. Seems to be pretty silent. Wonder why that is. Try to change the patch. Still no sound. What is this? This is something else. Volume, synth 0. No difference. Oh. This happens sometimes, I think, with this synthesizer. It decides that the volume should be at 0. Let's see if we move back to that one. Seems to work now. We'll leave it at that. We go back to the arranger. I think we will just record a little bit something to show how MIDI parts look. Here in the arranger there's nothing now. We're going to use the draw tool. This little part of the toolbar is all the tools that are available for editing. And this one, the pencil or draw tool, is for this instance we can draw new parts, as they are called in MusE. We can either click here, or we could use the keyboard shortcut. Most things in MusE has a keyboard shortcut, and for this one it's D. There's a full list of all shortcuts in this configure shortcut configuration. I click D, it changes to the draw tool, and we draw a little part here. Now I can double click on this one to bring up the piano roll for this. And there's also a virtual keyboard here, so if you try to click here, yeah, you can hear that it works. There's also a channel info. See here, select instrument patch is what it's called. If I click here, we can see there's a bunch of patches that are already pre-programmed for this synthesizer. So I'll just pick one. Flexi4, no idea. Let's try it. Bit cool, but not really so useful. Let's see if we can find something that's a bit easier to play with. Lavitar. That's a bit cool. Now we can do the same thing here and use the draw tool. So I press D, and this time we're going to draw notes. Like that. Now we have a simple chord here Now, if we want to listen to that, we can press the play button, or as I would do, I would press the space button, which is the same thing. And press space again to stop. Yeah, that is a little example on how it can sound. We close that, and I think I'll move the play pointer over here. I guess you can do it like that and edit all your music through the piano roll. For some things, it's easier, and especially if you need to change something or fix some mistake, it's necessary. But for many things, you really want to connect an external keyboard. So in this case, I mentioned I have a little external keyboard connected to MusE. So we'll see if we can get that working. We can start by checking here in the settings, MIDI ports and soft synths. Here we'll see a list of everything that MusE sees with regards to MIDI. So you can see here there's Teratext, the audio device that I have the recording through, and MicroKey is my small keyboard. And another interesting thing is the I and O column, input and output. So the input devices are these three: the Teratext, the MicroKey, and MIDI through. MicroKey is the one I'm going to use. It's an input device, and there's nothing strange about it. I'll just click OK here. Now if I play something on my MIDI keyboard, you can see that this little light lights up, but nothing is heard. If I click this button, we can see the same thing that I just tried to explain. We have three MIDI devices that are capable and set up to do input data. Just as some extra information, if you hold the control button, this is true for most of the pop-up menus in MusE, holding the control button, or the control key on the keyboard, allows you to make several changes without closing the menu. So I can click on this small red dots, and this will disable this device, just as an example, allows for MIDI recording for all MIDI channels. If you're an advanced user, you might want to limit what is allowed. Then you can do it here by disabling certain stuff. For now, we'll leave everything as is. Most users don't need to change anything here. But we still don't hear anything. We can see it light up, nothing happens. What's missing is that we need to add the connection to the MIDI track. We need to record enable the track, or arm it, as it's sometimes called. So I click this little red button here. Now it's record enabled. So if I play a chord now, it sounds better. I won't say that it sounds better, but it does make a sound. And just as a final thing here, where I can show that we can make a little recording all the way through. To make a recording, we need to start rolling the transport. To do that, we need to click this button, record. When I click this one, it will notice that we haven't saved anything, and it will prompt us with this dialog to create a project that we want to start storing stuff to. So we just put a name here, MusE. Let's call it MusE tutorial. Tutorial 1. When you're doing only MIDI, everything will be stored inside the MED file. So it's not really important where or how you store it. But if you are recording audio, it will quickly get out of hand if you don't click this button and create a folder for it. All the audio will be stored in separate WAV files in the same folder as the MED file. So doing it like this means that everything that's inside this folder will belong to this project. I think it's a good idea even if you're doing only MIDI. We press OK here. Now it's record enabled, the project, and we press the play button and we'll see that it starts creating a part here. I'll just play a little bit. That didn't sound too good, but it did make a sound. So I press space to stop recording. And if we go back here and press play, we can hear it. That sounded really bad. Let's see if we can. How would that sound? Even worse. Interesting, not really good, but it made a sound anyway. I think that's just about it for this startup tutorial. So I'll see you again in a little while. Bye.